finally reached Daydream Believer. This was one of the episodes I've always wanted to make a video about. Like many of the other episodes we've discussed throughout the past few months, it's been a while since I've finished this one from start to finish. That doesn't mean that I didn't love this episode, not in the slightest. I'm the kind of person who's always looking for new experiences. Instead of rewatching movies that I love, I tend to look for new movies to connect with. I've only seen my favorite episode of My Life as a Teenage Robot from start to finish 5 times.
What do you mean you've only seen Escape from Cluster Prime 5 times? I thought you're the fucking teenage robot guy!
Does this make me unfit to be making these videos? Probably, yeah. Still, I love talking about this show and bringing attention to it. Anyways, let's actually talk about Daydream Believer, so I can explain why I think it's so great.
Another 8 hours of uneventful sleep mode successfully completed.
Immediately, this episode made me sad. While it's absurd for a robot to spend 8 hours in a sleeping state, don't we all? Think about it. You spend 8 hours sleeping, 8 hours at work or school, and you get 8 hours to yourself. You only truly enjoy a third of your life, so what's even the point?
Oh boy, looks like Tuck's having a bad dream. Blue robot, smash through wall.
Jenny doesn't know what dreams are. It makes sense. She is a robot after all. It does make you wonder why Nora designed Jenny to be able to fall in love, but didn't give her the ability to dream. That doesn't matter. Jenny is envious of the chemical reaction her friends' brains go through, so she asks Nora if she can have a dream too. Nora finds the concept of giving Jenny dreams interesting, and she puts it on her list of things to do. Much like this channel, her to-do list is seemingly endless. Surprisingly enough, Jenny doesn't have to wait long at all. Nora moved the project up her list of things to do, and she finished the chip the same day. The show doesn't explicitly say why she did this, but I have a theory, which I'll get to later. Jenny forces herself to sleep, just like many of us wish we could do on Christmas Eve. Once she's actually dreaming, the episode becomes truly special. The art style really shines with the random characters and backgrounds. It's incredible. When Jenny meets up with Dawn Prima, her dialogue doesn't make any sense. Dawn Prima is speaking complete gibberish. Nothing about the dream makes any sense, but it still reflects on Jenny's desires to get with Dawn Prima. I thought that scene was really well written, and still think it's one of the most creative sequences in the show. Excited about her first dream, she tells Brad all about it. Nobody really likes being told about dreams. They're all pretty nonsensical and boring to listen to, so this situation feels genuine too. This is where things get out of hand. The teacher starts talking about the legend of a kraken. Bored, Jenny decides to switch her brain over to dream mode. Jenny starts dreaming about the tale, adding her own interesting twist to it. In reality, Jenny is making a fool of herself in class. Jenny becomes addicted to this dreamy state. Instead of trying to be a normal teenage girl, she's more focused on pretending to be a cowboy on a fountain. She's so obsessed with her dreams that she's letting them destroy her relationships. On her walk home, she can't help herself from turning on dream mode just to keep things interesting. In this case, everything around her starts looking like a cartoon from the 1930s. Unaware of what's actually going on around her, Jenny nearly gets hit by a truck. Luckily for her, the man driving it was also dreaming and swerved off of the road. This still causes a chain reaction and Jenny is permanently stuck in dream mode. This time, Jenny sees everything as a horrifying Dr. Seuss nightmare. Funny enough, this episode aired on the same day that the live-action Cat in the Hat movie hit theaters, so we had our own Dr. Seuss nightmare in reality. She starts attacking innocent people, mistaking them as monsters.
Look, everyone! It's the meat-beating scene! Get it?
In her delusional state, Jenny confuses Tuck with one of the Dr. Seuss creatures and tries to shoot him down. I love how Tuck avoids a laser with the help of a conveniently placed dip in the road. It's a cute visual gag, but it wasn't in dream mode, so this dip actually exists in Tremerton. While Tuck manages to escape Jenny's wrath, the same can't be said for some poor pedestrians who are just trying to drive home. Jenny keeps destroying cars and actually nearly kills Nora. Brad, Tuck, and Nora all hide in a bus to avoid getting a complimentary head removal from Jenny, but she's still too powerful to hold off for long. The plan is to shock her with water while Tuck distracts her. Tuck makes himself look really strange, so Jenny's dream mode would assume that he's normal Tuck. I don't think that this plan makes much sense. I would assume that it would make her think that he's the devil. It doesn't matter. The disguise worked. Well, it worked for a while. Jenny caught on once a part of his costume fell off. While this could have been the end of our favorite nuisance, Brad tricks her into shooting the fire hydrant. She thinks that the water is candy, so she electrocutes herself. After the shock, she realizes that she's been dreaming the entire time and lets Nora fix her. That's the end of the episode, but there's still a few things I'd like to mention about it. First of all, while I was watching the episode, I caught on to something I didn't realize when I watched it the first time. While the episode is about Jenny getting addicted to dreaming, it's really an episode about addiction in general. While I immediately think about more severe addictions, it can really apply to anything that someone is addicted to. As an example, there are millions and millions of people who are hopelessly addicted to sugar. They might tell themselves that they'll take sugar out of their lives, but it's so much easier to abuse it. I know that a bunch of you are probably addicted to video games and TV. Jenny decides to spend her day in dream mode, much like how we enjoy immersing ourselves in media instead of going out and enjoying our lives outside. Luckily for us, this episode was directed by John Fountain, a crew member who has been very open to answering questions on our Discord server. I asked him if the episode was about addiction, and he gave me a very thoughtful answer. This answer can be summarized by the word yes.
I remember that dream episode you have the picture of that we're just talking about. We had to write that a few times. I think we had it more clearly a drug metaphor. It kind of is still, but I mean, I think we were even more overt about it in the first versions, and they really wanted us to pull back on that. Perhaps wisely, I don't know. Now having kids, is like there's probably having kids and then getting kind of uncomfortable when certain things come up and entertainment you're all watching together. Like I get it. When you're younger, you're kind of trying to see what I've never been a subversive artist. I've never been someone who I think tries to push the boundaries of kind of what you can get away with or whatever. But then there are just there's certain ideas that are just sort of interesting, and so many things have been done on TV, or you're just trying to think of things that haven't been done before. and every now and then you'll stumble into an idea where they're just like, that is too dark. That's just a little too provocative. And you're like, okay, we'll come up with something.
Yeah, I'm glad they said that about Daydream Believers, named that episode.
Yeah,
monkeys, whatever. Yeah, no, I'm glad that you said that, because I did have a bit of a discussion with somebody before. Like, I was writing a video about that episode, and I mentioned, like, this is clearly some sort of drug metaphor going on here, and they're like, no, it's not, there's no way, but you just put that to rest, so thank you very much for that. Yeah, in your face, whoever that was.
One more thing before I wrap this up. In previous retrospective videos, I've created a theory which I've deemed the Fanbase theory. Basically, I think that Nora is evil. This episode has some pretty damning evidence. From the beginning, Nora prioritizes Jenny's dream chip and doesn't give it the time to develop. This was a mistake in the past, and it was what made Jenny's existence known to the public. Nora could have easily set it so Jenny's dream mode couldn't be manually activated by Jenny, or she could have set it so it only worked when her brain powered down. Nora is either completely delusional, or she's trying to get Jenny to do property damage to Tremerton. When Jenny throws a car at Nora, she only flinches at the sound of it dropping. She knew that her life wasn't in danger. It really makes me wonder if Nora really wants to save the town from Jenny, or if she's just trying to cover it up with a half-assed effort. I believe that she only supported Brad and Tuck's efforts to stop Jenny because she assumed they would be killed in the process. She tried to do this already in a Hostile Makeover. The only reason Tuck survived was thanks to some quick thinking from Brad. Why would Nora want them out of the picture? I think that she can recognize that Brad and Tuck are some of the only people who can influence Jenny and stop her from committing the crimes against the town. The only reason Nora put an end to Jenny's rampage in this episode was to make sure that she didn't look suspicious. Looking back at some other suspicious moments in previous episodes, this theory is really starting to tie itself together. Anyways, what did I think about the episode overall? I think it's great. I think it's one of the finest episodes of my life as a teenage robot, and it just might be my favorite of the season so far. What can I say? I'm a sucker for how the show switched styles in this one. I also think that it's funny, charming, and has some serious depth. Do you guys think this episode is good? Do you think my Nora theory is insane? Tell me all about it in the comments below. I've been your narrator, YoshiFan2010. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, leave a rating. If you want to reach us, leave a comment. Or check out our other platforms. Links are in the description.
Hello? Jen? I like to play with my
Meat!
as much as the next guy, but this is undignified.
Fuck you!